Okay, so it's Mona again. All right, so here you see I have my cumingiana, hoya cumingiana that I recently bought. I've taken some cuttings here and I intend to stick them in 3 different rooting substrates. We have fluval stratum. This is the brand that I have. It's supposed to be full of minerals, volcanic soil for planted aquariums. A lot of people have been using this to root in and even grow, I believe. But I know a lot of people like to use it for rooting cuttings. And I also have some good old-fashioned perlite and then the homemade pond. So what I want to do is get these all going and test in about, I don't know, we'll see how they do. Maybe I should add a little bit more each one. I don't know if I'm gonna bother. Decisions. Okay, let's wet them. I don't know if you can hear that. Anyway, wet that. And then we're gonna wet the perlite. I'll come back to that. You know, this is homemade, and I wonder, perhaps some of you who are familiar with pond can give me some idea. This is like coarse pieces of lava rock, zeolite, and pumice. Now, I know the pumice I can get in different sizes. I don't know if that makes a difference as far as how this will work. I'm still testing it out. You know, I decided to make my own and see if it works just as good as the Choose Upon. Who knows? We will find out eventually. All right, so these stems, I think I'm going to cut the lower leaves off. Then dip it in some rooting hormone. And you probably don't even need it, but since I have it, I'm going to use it. Okay, so let's go into the fluval. Okay. I was going to stick these cuttings right back into the original substrate, but I don't know what this is. It's a very sandy, coarse kind of substrate. I mean, the plant was growing just fine, but it was also growing down in Florida in very humid, I'm sure, conditions in a greenhouse. So I don't know if that is typical for down there, you know, different soil type, more sandy soil. I don't know. But in a few weeks, maybe sooner, because I don't have any patience, but maybe sooner I'll just go ahead and repot that into something I'm more comfortable with. But I'll give it a couple of weeks to get acclimated, and then we'll try it. Stick another cutting. This is a little low. I don't know. That was a good idea. I have to raise that up a little. Add some more. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I think this stuff is reusable, so sure, maybe you have to disinfect it and then you can reuse it later, which is good because it was kind of expensive. I don't recall exactly how much I spent on that, but I can find out later if any of you are interested in ordering it. I believe I got it on Amazon. So I don't want to drown these cuttings, but here we go. I'm just going to gently push that down. Okay. I think I've watched a few people online and they like to root in this fluval stratum. Okay, so we got a couple of decent cut-ins in there in this one. I don't know, that might be too much water. Maybe I'll just pour out a little bit more later. Here, add a little bit more. I don't think I've rooted stuff in perlite. Jeff from Everything Plants, he has a good video on using perlite for rooting plants. You dig through his archive of videos, I'm sure you can find that. I think he has some plants that he's actually got growing in perlite, doing very well. But when he waters, I believe he uses what do you call that? Fertilizer in the water. So that's just something to consider. Alrighty, so let's see how these work in the pond. Now, I had something in pond, the Syndapsis cuttings that did not do very well. I don't know, I felt like it was holding on to too much water. Now, initially, I made a mistake in the bottom of the pot, or it was a plastic container. To kind of seal the holes up, I put coffee filters at the bottom because I was too lazy to go look for a piece of screen to put there. Excuse me. Well, not sure that was a good idea. So when I realized what I did and how the water was not, it was just sitting down there, I think I tried to fix it and put the little screen in there. But anyway, when I took those cuttings out, if you saw the video I made like last week or so, I saved that Syndapsis by getting it out of that setting. It wasn't working for it. The roots were starting to rot. The rots were starting to root. Well, you know what I mean. It's late, the end of my week. So anyhow, I got that out and put it in good old-fashioned soil. This was not the best cutting to put in here, so maybe I'll just leave that one solo and put this in with the perlite. think I can make some space for it. That's a little tight. Okay, pause. I'll be back. Okay, sorry, I just had to add a little bit more perlite. So hopefully these cuttings will sit in there better. You know, I have a couple of them here. Decisions. Let's go back in there like so. I don't know if that's in there deep enough. Here we go. Okay, we have one more. So let's stick this one in here. This one's not even all the way in there. Come on, let me in there. This is one of the problems I think I have. It's probably too coarse, these bits of my homemade pond. Next time I'll order smaller rocks. If there's a next time. I'm still testing it out. I don't know if I'm comfortable using it or not. I do have the plants that came from that Etsy seller. They're still in her pond and they're doing okay. But one of them constantly needs watering. And I'm not sure what that's about. All right, I'm going to stick this one back in here if I can make a secure little spot for it. See what happens with this one. Turn it around. Okay, there we go. And this one I'll just give a little zap of water right here. The plant doesn't need watering, but I'll just wet the soil right there and we'll see what happens with that one. She roots. Okay, so we have pond, homemade pond, perlite, and fluval stratum. Okay, so we will see how that works out. Let me keep this out. I have more cuttings to take. I'm going to take cuttings from my big, beautiful princess, Crimson Princess. It's time to make some baby plants. So give me a minute. Let me straighten up here and we'll get to that.